Hello, good afternoon. This is James from NCI Technologies, and I'd like to welcome you all to our recorded session today on Microsoft Power Automate, which was formerly known as Flow, and Planner, and how they can be used within Teams. Today we have with us Molly Rapson from Microsoft, who will be presenting today's session. Over to you, Molly.
Hi all, many thanks and welcome to everyone who's joining us on today's webinar covering Planner and Flow in Microsoft Teams. My name is Molly and I am the Senior Modern Workplace BDM on the SureStep team at Microsoft. So during today's webinar, we're going to be taking you through two apps that can be integrated into Microsoft Teams. They are Planner and Flow. I will show you why they are useful and how to set them up. So first up, we have Planner. Planner is just one of the task management apps that Microsoft provides. At a glance, it can appear that all task management apps do the same thing, but they actually have different objectives. Project Online, for example, is a web-based application whereby project managers can create schedules and assign tasks and enable portfolio managers to see what people are working on. Microsoft Project is a desktop application that is great for creating schedules where you want to organize your work in phases for a standalone project. Both Microsoft Project and Project Online are subscription-based products, and Microsoft To Do lets you list all of your tasks and sort which ones are most important. Microsoft Planner is a lightweight web-based application and mobile app. The great thing with Planner is that it can be used within Teams and SharePoint. You can create plans, assign tasks, chat about the task, and see charts of your team's progress. So Planner in Microsoft Teams gives each team member visibility as to who's working on what, due dates, status, and details of tasks. In this presentation, I'm going to be showing you how to do all of these steps. We will add Planner to Teams, create a plan, assign tasks, show how to chat about the task, and how to track the team's progress. So perhaps you want to launch a new product. You can outline what you want to do and a time frame. You can then assign tasks to those involved in the project, discuss the project as you go, and get visible representation of your progress throughout with easy-to-use graphs. And all of this can be done without ever leaving Teams. Planner is currently going through a renaming process. A lot of features of To Do are already incorporated into Planner, and the two will be merged so the name will transition to Tasks by Planner and To Do, and then it will simply be known as Tasks. But right now, the app is still called Planner, and you can add it to Teams by searching for it through the app section from directly within Teams itself. When installed, it will add Planner to the left-hand menu where you can access your personal planner. You can also add planners to a channel so that you can assign tasks to people from within your team. And when you do, you can choose to pull in the information from an existing plan from your favorites, recent plans, or create a new plan. If you're creating a new plan, give it a name and it will appear as a tab at the top from within the channel under that given name. When Planner is added to your channel, this is the view you will see. There are three main views from within the Planner tab: Board, Charts, and Schedule. I will go through each of these separately and starting with the current view board. Everywhere you go in the Planner, you will have set options on the top right. The first option will open a chat for your planner, the next will expand the view. You then have the option to refresh the page, and finally you can go to the web version of Planner. So let's expand the view to get a more refined look at Planner without the distraction of the teams and channels on the left-hand side. So now you can see the screen is filled, so we can concentrate on just Planner. Here is a breakdown of what you can see within the board view of Planner. We have created our planner as a product launch event. It is divided into buckets, which is a way of grouping certain tasks by type. If we take the example of webinars, if you want, you could call the planner webinar, then list the different type of webinars as a bucket, and then create and assign tasks within each bucket. Or you could name the tab projects and have buckets just for all of the webinars and create a breakdown of the tasks within that. So within each bucket, you can add a task. Click the button at the top and give the task a name, a due date, and assign it to someone. It will then appear as a card which will show you a summary of the task at a glance. When you click on a card, you have a more advanced view where you can fine-tune the task. You can use the drop-down boxes in the top half to let your team know how you're getting on with the assignment, change the urgency, and move the bucket. You can also add notes for a more detailed description of the task. You can break down the task further with a checklist, and you can work through these step by step to achieve the task as a whole. You can add attachments, so let's say perhaps a supporting spreadsheet, and add further comments so you can easily create a conversation about the task. By clicking the ellipsis on the top right, you have further options, including the ability to copy a link to the task so that you can share it. You can either color code the tabs if you wanted to make it easier to identify the type of task, person assigned, or urgency, for example. You can also add tasks via the Schedule tab. This will start at the calendar view and show what has already been set, giving you a view of what your team is already working on. You can sort this view by month or by week. And now I can either add a task by clicking the option on the right-hand side or by clicking the plus icon that will appear when you hover over a specific date. You will be able to see the tasks listed by bucket on the right-hand side, and all of the content is draggable to make it incredibly easy to recognise tasks. Overdue tasks will appear red, making them easy to identify at a glance. Within Chart View, you can get a detailed analysis of your current tasks, whether they are in progress or completed. They are also grouped by person, so you can see who amongst your team has the higher workload and check for any unassigned tasks. Each of the screens will also have filters, so you can break down each page if you are looking for tasks by a specific person or from a bucket, for example. When you go into the Planner app from the left-hand menu, you can see a personal view of the tasks. Under My Tasks, you can see all of those tasks allocated to me, whether it's from Planner, To Do, or Outlook. The Activity section has now been moved to your main activity section on the top left, and the other tabs at the top allow you to view your plans with different views. There are some differences between using the web-based version against the Teams version. So for example, on the web version of Planner, you'll get emailed notifications of due and late tasks, which you currently do not get in Teams. This is unless you have Microsoft Flow. So Microsoft Flow within Teams will help you create automated workflows between your favorite apps and services to synchronize files, get notifications, collect data, and more. Flow as a standalone product has been renamed to Power Automate. Within Teams, you can still find it under the name of Flow. They are part of the Power Platform family. Power Automate or Flow allows you to create workloads between applications and services, helping eliminate repetitive business tasks such as communication, data collection, and decision approvals. Power Apps are a low-code development environment for building custom apps for business needs. Power BI is a business analytics service that delivers insights to analyze data. Power Virtual Agents enables anyone to create powerful chatbots using a no-code interface. There are some cross-cutting features amongst the apps to help it reach its full potential. Features such as AI Builder lets users add intelligence to your workflows to predict outcomes, improving business performances. They utilize a scalable common data service, an app platform, to store and manage data from multiple sources. This is what allows Power Platform to work together. And there are connectors, which are the bridges that connect your apps, data, and devices together from within the cloud. So there are 345 connectors in total, including SharePoint, Outlook, and Excel. But you can also use external connectors such as Twitter and YouTube. Some connectors may require additional licensing such as SQL Server, SurveyMonkey, and MailChimp. The full list can be found on the link on screen. These connectors will feed into your flow and create a series of actions. This will help automate repetitive business processes to increase productivity. You can create flows to automate a document approval process, create new tasks from an email, send reminders on past tasks, move business data between systems on schedule, and even automate tasks on your local computer, like computing data in Excel. This can be done at skills levels thanks to Power Automate's no-code or no-low-code platform. So let's see the process of building your own flow. You can create a flow by going directly to flow.microsoft.com, or you can do this directly through Teams. And one of the great things with Teams is that there are multiple places you can access your apps and complete different tasks, so you aren't spending so much time searching in a specific menu. To create a flow, you can do it through the Flow app. This is especially useful for creating flows that only you want to use, or you can even do it in the specific Teams channel that it's referring to. So when creating a flow, you search for a template by keyword, or browse by scrolling down the list, or even clicking the plus new to give you a drop-down list for more advanced options, including creating one from scratch. There are different ways of creating flows from scratch. Automated, instant, and scheduled flows are your standard types of flow using a template just with different triggers. So automated is where your data has changed, such as adding a file to SharePoint, and you want that to trigger a notification. Instant runs repetitive tasks, often from a mobile device and by pressing a button, or having one as a schedule, so the trigger begins at a certain time, which is great for creating reminders. A business process flow runs on top of common data service and work with model-driven apps to help guide a user through a process, such as onboarding a new customer to guide them through various steps of a process. So a UI flow record and automates the playback of a manual steps on legacy software. So for desktop and web applications that do not have APIs, for example. So when you have found the template you would like, you click onto the card and you will see the information of what the connector is using and what accounts it will link to. You will be prompted to sign in if you haven't done so already, and it is important to do so in order to pull the relevant information from that app. This is what your flow may look like. It is a combination of triggers and actions. Triggers will prompt your flow to begin. This could be based on a time such as every day at 8 a.m. or based on an action such as a new record being created in a table or receiving an email. Once the condition for the trigger has been met, it will prompt an action. So you are telling your flow what it is going to do at 8 a.m. or when the new record has been created. In our example, we are creating a flow with the trigger being when a task is created in Planner, and the action will be that it will post a message into Teams. One of the benefits to creating flow within a specific channel is that it will automatically populate your triggers and actions with the data from within that section. As you can see, the information in the planner trigger matches the planner name in the tabs. Meanwhile, the team and channel information in the action matches the team and channel we are in. Start with your trigger. If you are logged in, it will have the information as to which planner selections are available. You can select this from the drop-down box. With Project Launch Event, if a task is added here, it will begin the trigger. Now we know that the task is created in Product Launch Event, it will post a message within the general channel of the sales and marketing team. You can manually change what text you would like to output. For variable text like someone's name, you can add dynamic content. But if you can't find what command you're looking for, or you want more control, then you can use the expression tab and write your own code to create your own functions. So that could be your whole flow, but you may want to use a template as a starting point, or you may want to add more steps to the process over time. Use the plus new step button or the plus sign between each process to add a new trigger or action. You can save the flow when complete, and you can always come back to it later and make amendments. And check the flow for errors or test it to ensure it works. All right, so when adding a new step, you can then choose from a variety of ways of adding your new connectors, triggers, and actions. You can use the search bar or browse within the tabs. You have triggers and actions that are built in, and there are standard ones that you can add as well as paying for premium ones. Custom are ones you have built yourself, and My Clipboard will be a collection of your most recently used flows. You can further refine your search by clicking an icon on the subset menu that I have highlighted above, and it will show the options related to what you have just selected. In the example above, we have selected control, which is in the built-in section, and we now have to select the condition action. You can now see that the flow can branch off in different directions with a variety of criteria. It may be that you have an approval process for when someone submits an expense. If the value is below a certain amount, then the resulting action could tell the person submitting that it is approved. But if the amount is above the threshold, you could add further actions that would email the expense to someone to be authorized, and an additional action to let the person submitting know what's happened. You could continue by creating calendar entries, sending email reminders, and so on. There is so much scope for what you can do with flows. So let's stick with the basic flow for now, and let's run a test. I've posted a new task within Planner, and it has posted a message to the group chat in Teams. The possibilities are endless, and this can easily be replicated as an email. If I now go back to the Flows tab where I created the flow, or into the Flows app, I can review my flow. When selecting the flow I want to review, I can click on the name and it will bring me to this dashboard. From here, I can make changes to my flow and see the run history. And finally, you can use the chat option to give commands to the flow bot, such as listing your flows or running them. Or you can see your sent and your received approvals. So hopefully that's given you a better understanding of Planner and flows within Teams. But here are a list of resources if you would like to expand your knowledge further or you would like to delve deeper. I'm now going to hand back to James.
Thank you very much, Molly. I'm sure everybody found that as useful as I did. And my contact details are now shown at the end of this recording. If you have any questions or you'd like to reach out to myself or NCI Technologies for help using Power Automate or Flow or Planner, please don't hesitate to contact me.